What's going on? What's going on, guys? This is your man, Real Deal, Steele, coming to you live this Saturday night. It is Saturday night, feeling all right. What is good? Saturday Night Live. No association with the the original. Thank God. I don't think it's been funny in well over a decade. Anyway, who do we got in the chat tonight? A lot of familiar names here. We've got Doodledoo71, Mike Tracy, Esteban, Zombie Doge Army. Who else? Albert. Good to see you, Albert. Me, you. Donna Tabuki, of course. Cloud Chamber. Low Roller. Corey E. Slay Blaze, of course. Slay Blaze. And the Sliding Edge. Yes. And Abstractus, of course. Guys, if I could just ask you to hit that like button before we go on. It's the number one thing you can do to help out the channel. Appreciate it. Also, if you're brand new here, I'd like to personally welcome you. You're watching Steven Steele Live. I'm Steven Steele, and we are going to get down to it, boppers. Got a cool show lined up for you tonight. Some interesting things to talk about, including the title of tonight's episode. I definitely have plenty to say about that, and that's a fact, Jack. I think we got a couple Super Chats already starting off here tonight. I love it. Let's see. We've got Sliding Edge, first Super Chat of the night, $2 to make you holler. Black Friday, almost over. Claim your Doge discount. Yes, indeed. Doge trading right at about 20 cents even. 20 cents even right now. Donna Tabuki. Thank you, Donna. Appreciate you coming with a $5 super chat. Warning. 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 Antoinette's father is up in here. No jokes, LOL. He's mobbed up. Really. Well, there you go. You've been warned, I guess. So thank you, Donna. What's up, Chi-Chi? What's up, Sublime? Eric, good to see you. Mason, good to see you. Yes, yes, indeed. I know folks are having a lot of anxiety about what the market's doing right now. A lot of reservations, concerns. I think Doge holding at 20 cents, given what's going on in the entire market in its totality, I think it's just fine. I think it's just fine. I don't find it alarming at all. Let's take a look at the market right now, and let's put some perspective on this, shall we? So Dogecoin currently down almost 3% over the last 24 hours. Over the last hour, it's pretty much just trading evenly sideways. Over the week, it's down 13%. Sounds bad, doesn't it? Sounds bad, doesn't it? But if we go to Bitcoin, obviously the largest market cap in the game, it's down over 8% for the whole week, which is a lot considering the size and scale of Bitcoin. For the day, it's down about 1%, trading evenly right now. Now Ethereum, down almost 3% over the last 24 hours. Down about 8% over the last week. Solana, down about 13% over the last week. Polkadot, down 20% over the last week. Polkadot. ADA, down 21%. ADA down 21% over the last week. Even AVAX down 17% over the last week. Lunaterra. Actually, Lunaterra is probably one of the few that's holding tough, hanging tough. Down 4% over the last week. My point is, what Doge is going through right now is not unique to Doge. This is a response to a Bitcoin dominant market that's stumbling. That's definitely in correction. And in part due to wildcard factors that Nick and I have discussed over the last 2 days. Other than that, by definition, we are still in a bull market. Most people don't understand that, but it's true. We are still, by definition, still in a bull market. I believe the overall ascendancy over the next 2 months and into the first half, at least, of first half of quarter one of 2022, I believe will remain bullish. So yeah, if you are a long-term investor in high utility coins, now might be a good accumulation period to consider if you have the capital to do that sort of thing. AMP is pumping. Yeah, I don't pay attention to AMP, but it doesn't surprise me. Yeah, so and I will get to the topic at hand. That is in the thumbnail, in the title. Let's see here. I'm going to unban a troll that was in here earlier, just because I haven't had a good troll in a while. So we'll see if he pipes in. But we'll see how it goes. We'll let him do his thing if he comes back in. But basically, he was saying, I don't know SHIT. My sources trust me, bro. Is it? Is it really? Doge's biggest pump coming. Doge is going parabolic this weekend. Let's see what else he said. He always posts stuff like this, clickbait, etc. That's interesting. That's an interesting criticism to levy, considering I'm probably one of the least clickbaity YouTubers out there. it's an interesting criticism. I never post pictures of me with my mouth gaping wide open, looking extra shocked and surprised. I'm literally probably the only crypto channel I can think of that doesn't post thumbnails like that. I actually could be getting a lot more views than I do if I augmented my delivery style to be much more clickbaity. But it's just not my style, and I'm also not dissing other content creators that may have a different approach that way, but it's just not my style, and it wouldn't be true to who I am. And obviously, you guys can tell my thumbnails and my artwork, they're not really like anything else in crypto, because to me, aesthetics are really important to me. I'm also a designer, and so I just got to bring my own style. It's just my own thing. But in regards to me having clickbait titles, well, let's just take a look. I opened up my YouTube channel here. Yesterday's show was called Black Friday Crypto Flash Crash. That's exactly what it was. The night before that, the episode was called Thanksgiving Special. Boy, that's some hot clickbait. Thanksgiving Special. With a subheadline, NASA and Elon team up to save Earth from asteroids, which is a story that I don't know how else to put it. It's just the very basic fact of that story. The thumbnail before that was India's crypto ban. Before that, it was Elon versus Binance, the showdown. Before that, it was Avalanche hits top 10. Before that, it was why the Ethereum Doge bridge will be a game changer. Okay. I mean, if you consider that clickbait, I don't know. If you consider that clickbait, then I don't know what you consider real clickbait. I guess. You know, it's also one of these things too where, like, one of the tweets I sent out earlier today. Now, sometimes I have fun with it. I'm obviously kidding, where I'm almost poking fun at that approach. But anyone that has, two pennies to rub together in their frontal cortex can understand that. Like, today I tweeted out Dogecoin to $69 today. With, me obviously laughing. Anybody who thinks I'm being literal in that sort of and actually tweeting something like that out as a real a TA prediction, I don't know what to tell you. If you're that stupid, I can't help you. I don't know what to say. Anyway. Doge is going to 1000x tomorrow, I swear, not clickbait. Oh, I like the trolls. I always get new waves of trolls when we're very productive and when we're reaching more people through the content and what we're doing here. There are always kind of a few new waves of trolls that kind of fluctuate in and out. It kind of goes with the territory. Donna getting savage in the chat. Plus I literally do about an hour and a half minimum of a live stream show, almost 7 nights a week, folks. That's not the easiest thing to do. Yeah, I don't know, guys. Maybe I should start posting thumbnails where I'm going like this. And maybe, we gotta do that one. Oh my gosh. I to a certain degree, I do love the trolls because it just means that we're growing, right? The channel's growing, what we're doing is growing. It's kind of something you just learn to it's kind of just part of the territory. It's part of the territory of growth. Yeah, Mama Crypto, don't do it. Yeah, watch tomorrow's thumb night. Tomorrow night's thumbnail is going to be titled Dogecoin 1000x by Monday, and then I'm going to have a big picture of me going, ah! Oh my gosh. If you ever see me post something like that, please know that it's like I'm clearly taking the piss, I'm clearly joking. It's just not my style. I got to be true to my style. Again, to be clear, I'm not dissing other content creators That very well may be their style, like, and that's fine. I just gotta be true to what my style is, what my deal is. No, Zombie, you guys are doing a great job. I just you guys are doing a great job. It's really not that confusing. Sometimes I like to let the trolls like do their thing for a little bit, occasionally, just because I'm kind of amused by it. Okay, let me see here. Let me pull up my notes. Definitely some interesting stuff to get into tonight, guys. And great to see you guys. Hope you're enjoying all your Thanksgiving leftovers. I know I am. I've got more food in this little apartment than I've ever had in my whole life. I got like gluten-free stuffing. I got tons of turkey breast. Got gravy. We've got squash. We've got just green beans. All sorts of stuff. Crazy. I just opened up my inbox and it shows I have 666 messages. Woo. Wild stuff, guys. Wild stuff. One of those days. Just one of those days. Okay, first story up, guys. And I covered a little bit of this yesterday. This isn't necessarily a news story, but I thought it was worth extrapolating on a little bit since I didn't get too far into it last night. Elon Musk wants Dogecoin owners to ditch crypto exchanges and keep custody on their own keys. Cryptocurrencies are stored in something called a. As I'm reading the subheadline of this article, I forget, like, it's really tailored towards newbies. It's kind of endearing, actually. So I'm just reading right now from the India Times, and they say cryptocurrencies are stored on something called a wallet, which can be accessed by using your private key, the crypto equivalent of a super secure password, which without the crypto owner cannot access the currency. They have to tell you what a wallet is. So Elon Musk believes that people investing in Dogecoin should keep the custody of their keys, ditch centralized exchanges like Robinhood and Binance. I don't know that he said that specifically, though, about Robinhood. Look, I do think this is a good idea, but at the same time, I'm not very judgmental of people who are keeping other Dogecoin on exchanges. And essentially, if you're on an exchange that allows you to export your Dogecoin or transfer it, you do have a wallet there. I mean, it's a wallet through their app, but you are given your keys at that point. And I do believe that Robinhood will fulfill its promise to do so in the first quarter of 2022 at the latest. Zombie Doge Army coming in with $2 super chat. Win Texas Toast merch. Thank you for the reminder. I will get that Texas Toast merch. I will get it going. But not too far in the future, Zombie Doge Army. So thank you for that. Appreciate you. Yeah, we'll get some Texas toast gear. I think that's a fine idea. So yeah, Elon expressing these sentiments. I think it's healthy for the scene that he is. I also think it's really good because by Elon expressing this directly from him, this puts a lot of pressure on the various crypto platforms, exchange platforms there are out there for them to get their butts in gear and to provide Doge wallets for its holders. I need to call out my favorite exchange that actually does not have a Doge wallets, and they've paid some lip service to it in the past, but nothing's happened. That is Voyager. I love Voyager. Voyager is my favorite trading app, but they still don't have Doge wallets, and it's something they said they're supposed to get. And it's been about 9 months since they expressed that, and there hasn't been any announcement or any movement there. So Voyager, if anybody works or knows anyone from Voyager, tell them to get their butts in gear. Voyager, come on, give us the Doge wallets. Let's make it happen. Josh Rendell disavows putting a pep in my step with a $20 super chat. I love it. Thank you, Josh. Appreciate you. Physically abuse that like button. That's a way to put it. I mean, that is a way to put it. Thank you, Josh, for the colorful instructions. Appreciate it. The Tao of Toast, says Corey. Yeah, Elon does have. I kind of hope that Elon actually creates his own like social media platform. I think that could be really cool. Though I know the former president is coming out with one too, so we'll see how that one goes. But I do think that there's a pretty good chance that right now we are seeing perhaps the final throes of this Black Friday sale. It is also notable that literally 12 months ago from today, on Thanksgiving and the day after Thanksgiving, the crypto market did go on sale, as it were, on Thanksgiving and the day after Thanksgiving. So we are seeing history repeat itself to a degree. Now, I think this year, by percentage, it's probably slightly more severe, but just a little bit. And I would attribute that to the news of the announcement of a new variant of, the thing that kind of has rattled the markets a little bit, enough to affect it. So, yeah. But right now, I've been kind of looking at the totality of Dogecoin over the past year specifically, and this is now, we are in right now, guys, and this brings me to the title of tonight's show. This brings me to the thumbnail art. This is now the third time that Dogecoin has dropped off this far since last spring. So, and what's most notable about that is every time it's dropped down that far to the degree that we're at right now, it's been preceded by essentially a parabolic rise. And so we've seen a pattern wherein Dogecoin will trade sideways for a significant period of time, then drop off pretty suddenly for a few days, and followed by a tremendous parabolic rise. So we've certainly been in long enough of an accumulation period and sideways trading period, much longer than the other two were before it. So that gives it more time to accumulate. And at the same time showing remarkable stability that I don't think Dogecoin gets enough credit for. Now we're in the drop down. So I think if recent history is going to be any judge of this, I think there's a pretty good probability that Dogecoin could be on the precipice of a major breakout within the next week. I think it's a pretty good probability that things could go down like that. By the way, look at that nice big green weenie. That big green Bitcoin weenie. That big green Bitcoin weenie. How about that? That'd be a pretty good Lounge Lizard song. That big green Bitcoin weenie. The problem is not a lot of things rhyme with weenie. I mean, where do you go from there? Not quite sure, folks. But we're all in this topsy-turvy ride together, aren't we? Oh, yeah, said the Kool-Aid Man from the 1980s. Smoking Mirror, hello. Reed Potter, hello. Anthony T, greetings. Josh was eating. I hope that's not true. Esteban says, because I'm in love with the Steven. He be popping, he be rolling, he rolling, he climbing. I'm very familiar with the song, sir. But I'm not climbing any poles. I am an observer of such activities, but not a participant. But thank you, nevertheless. Okay. Yeah, it's pretty hard to keep a straight face when you're using the word weenies. Weenies. Just get in front of a camera, like I am right now on your computer, or in front of a mirror, and just look at yourself and say, weenies. And try not to smile. Try not to smile. That's your challenge. That's your homework for the next 24 hours, folks. Benzinga. Adrian Zemunsky says, unconfirmed Dogecoin whale address holding 30% of Doge is Robinhood. An address holding about 28% of Dogecoin's Doge total supplies most probably belongs to Robinhood, not Elon Musk, as some previously speculated. In a recent investigation led by the Dogecoin community linked to the wallet behind Robinhood's 420.69 Doge wallet test transaction to the famous Dogecoin whale wallet, currently holding 4.1 billion Dogecoin, the equivalent to about $892 million, but previously held as much as 36.7 billion Doge. Dogecoin dedicated Twitter profiler Misha Bor explained that following the trails starting from the first test transaction by Robinhood, we can go back in time and confirm that the current largest Dogecoin wallet and associated wallets are Robinhood cold wallets. That whale hoarding 30%, it's you. The report follows early May speculation that the brokerage platform is the Dogecoin whale, as described by Misha Bor. Back in February, the address was at the epicenter of major concern of the community. I was afraid that the coin had an excessively unequal distribution. I bring this up because I'm just astounded why this is a huge story now. I get it, but I don't get it, because those of you who have been following me long enough, those of you who have been tuning into me for any reasonable period of time, know that I have been saying this for about 8 months now. I've been saying this for literally 8 months, and same with Nick, my co-host. Both of us have been, and then all of a sudden, it's like this big shock to the system. Did you hear? Oh my gosh, breaking news. Okay. This is something we've brought up many times on this program for 8 months now. Better late than never. You know. Steven, which song is this? Hold on, I gotta unmute my headphones. I think it is... I'll tell you in a moment. I'll inbox it to you. Yeah, so it's just amazing to me that this is big news now, because this is not breaking news. It's not breaking news. It's not in these parts anyway. Apparently it's breaking news to everyone else, but whatever. I think overall it does help people maybe give people some solace and comfort that is the Robinhood exchange wallet and not just like a single whale. So hopefully that gives people some comfort. It can only give them comfort, so that's good. Cointelegraph reports Bitcoin offers Black Friday deal with sub 55K Bitcoin price, just like in 2020. What did I tell you guys? We did this a year ago exactly. Strange sense of deja vu pervades the crypto market as Black Friday delivers rare buying opportunity right on cue. Bitcoin may be down 20% from the all-time highs, but this is a golden opportunity to buy the dip, analysts argue. Black Friday is living up to its name in crypto this year, as both Bitcoin and many altcoins are trading their lowest in 6 weeks. Misgivings over 43K floor after an overnight sell-off, sparked by a declining US dollar and macro markets rattled by a new coronavirus. I'm not supposed to say that word on YouTube. They're very sensitive. The thing variant. Bitcoin is trading near 54K. As mainstream media highlight the fall, others are far from concerned. I fall in the far from concerned category. Current prices are arguably offer a golden entry opportunity. Others poked fun at the knee-jerk article from Bloomberg in which the publication initially declared that Bitcoin has entered a bear market. That's factually not true. We are, by definition, still in a bull market. On short-term targets, popular trader and podcast host Scott Meeker warned of going with the herd, expecting even lower levels to buy. We all seemingly want to see 53K, which means we get front run on 53K. Our price nukes straight through as we AFSP he tweeted. I don't think we're going to get... Do I think Bitcoin could get below 50K at this point? Certainly. It certainly can. Do I think it will? I would say that's on a low likelihood. Could we see Bitcoin get as low as 51K, 50K? Yeah. I don't see it going below that, though. Could be wrong, but I think that'd be a very low probability. I do think that we are probably about 72 hours out from things really turning around here. I don't expect the market to turn around drastically in the next few days. I'd say about 3 to 4 days out. I think we'll really start to see some solid progress and get back on the good foot, as James Brown once said. I'm trying to think of my favorite James Brown song. There are so many. I like Revenge. What is that? It's got the best lyrics. It's The Big Payback. That's my favorite James Brown song. Let me look up the lyrics to The Big Payback. Remember when I first heard The Big Payback when I was, I don't know, probably about 15 or 16 or something. It just blew my mind how tough it was and how cool it was. So lyrics to The Big Payback are as follows. I'm going to read some of them here. Sold me out for chicken change. So sold me out for chicken change. You better get ready, you mother, for the big payback. Let me hit him. Rent him, hit him. Where is... Oh, yeah. Get down with my woman. That ain't right. You hollering and you're cussing, you want to fight. Don't do me a no darn favor. I don't know karate, but I know crazy. Great lyric. Great lyric. Great lyric. Oh. But that song just hits the pocket. That's the thing, too. To be a guitarist for James Brown, you have to be very focused, very concise, and very disciplined. And what I mean by that, you just got to keep alternating between two chords and holding down rhythm guitar with like two chords and just sticking it right on time like a metronome, right? Seems simple enough, but I can tell you for years of touring with a live band and having to try out a lot of different people to find the right fit for my band, this kind of guitarist is not an easy one to find because most guitarists can't hold themselves to a discipline of not wanking off on their guitar. They always want to go and ad-lib and, do solos and all sorts of this stuff. I cannot work with guys like that, given the kind of music that I write and that I needed my live band for. So the biggest challenge to find, so what I'm saying is to find a guitarist like the ones that were in the JBs, and the ones that played for James Brown, they have to be very disciplined in not only the rhythm of their playing, but very disciplined with their ego to just be content with sticking two chords in a solid rhythm and nothing else. So sometimes less is more, many times with songwriting. And one of the biggest amateur mistakes I see with songwriters is crowding the song too much. And I used to make that mistake more when I was a younger songwriter, making the song too crowded, overplaying, learning not to overplay parts and just putting together different simple parts that fit together symbiotically. It sounds simple, but it's not. It actually requires a lot of discipline and a really good ear. Anyway, sorry for the tangent. Sorry, not sorry, but Do I play guitar? Sir, I do not play guitar. You do not want me to hear me play the guitar. The guitar's probably my yeah, that's like the worst instrument for me as far as me playing it. I don't have the finger dexterity. I never have. I've tried. I can play some keys. I can play some bass. I can play some drums. And I sing and I do a lot of programming, just as a songwriter in general. But I'm a terrible, awful guitarist. Okay. Steam Brigade country music. I would only do. Actually, I've got some kind of country tinge stuff that I haven't released. I would do like classic country, classic bluegrass. It wouldn't be very like modern country at all. I'm not a big fan of modern country. That's just me. But I like all kinds of music. I was even called in to help produce like some rap music a few times for other projects. So, yeah. Anyway, let's see. Let's getting back here. Whales are buying Dogecoin. The meme crypto ranks among the most actively used in smart contracts. Wow. According to smart contract activity, Dogecoin is being accumulated by whales en masse as investors buy the dip. Let me read that one more time, folks, because I think that's important for that to really digest with you folks. According to the smart contract activity, Dogecoin is being accumulated by whales as investors buy the dip. Why are whales accumulating Dogecoin en masse right now? Why? Well, because they're obviously confident in that it's going to go up, to put things quite simply. Because they were waiting for opportunities like this to go in big, to increase their bottom line. Do you think people that well moneyed are just going to throw those big of investments into something like Dogecoin unless they, if they have any decent level of uncertainty about the investment? No, they're not going to. They're not going to. Worst case scenario for these whales is Dogecoin goes to 30 cents. But they know, most of them know it's going to be much, much higher. So, getting back to this article here. Though the smart contract activity, it is easy to measure the amount of activity that takes place on the chain of one or more assets. As per whale stats, Dogecoin was ranked 7th place amongst the most actively interacted smart contracts on the chain. It shared the top position with BSC and Chia Coin. Chia. Anybody ever have a chia pet? You ever see a Mr. T chia pet? It's a thing. They were popular for a while. I bet they still make them. I actually wouldn't mind having a Mr. Chia pet. That's what they should call it, Mr. Chia. Mr. Chia pet. Mr. T chia pet. I pity the fool who doesn't know about the Mr. T chia pet. Mr. T, by the way, had a really wholesome song back in the day called Respect Your Mama or something like that. Let me look it up on online here. And it was basically like a PSA song to kids about respecting your mother. Yeah, it's like a Mother's Day rap. It's like, your mother, there is no other. Oh yeah, treat your mother right. Treat her right. Treat your mama right. I think we need to bring back that stuff. I think kids today, they're so loaded with just absolute garbage. Like, the amount of propaganda that's being foisted on not just us as adults, but kids today is just, I mean, I've never seen anything like it. I was talking about this with my folks today. I've never seen anything like it. It's just beyond. It's beyond the pale. So we need to bring back Mr. T and other people to just sing songs about being nice to your mom. I think really that would be edgy today. You never see stuff that wholesome anymore. It would absolutely shock the system for a somebody of popular notoriety to come out with something that wholesome. That would be like the most punk thing you could do right now, is to come out with a song that wholesome. I'd love to see it. Let's see what's going on in the chat. Good to be online tonight. I hope all is well. Thank you, Mark. Appreciate you, man. Good to see you in the mix. Chia. That was the jingle for Chia Pet. $60 on eBay for the Mr. T Chia Pet. For the Mr. Chia Pet. Okay. That's actually not too bad considering it's a vintage item from the 80s. Donna Tabuki, thank you for helping to keep the lights on over here at Steele HQ. Appreciate you. $20 super chat. Hey, Steven. It's Eric Tabuki. Awesome. I want to say thanks for all your wisdom and putting up with my wife. She's convinced me to build mining rigs, so thanks for that. Awesome. That's great, Eric. Your wife's awesome. You got a great family. And appreciate that, Eric. Awesome. Really good luck on the mining activity. If done correctly, it can be a very profitable venture. So that's awesome. Thank you, Eric. Appreciate you. Thanks for chiming in. Guys, if you haven't hit the like button, please take a moment to do that. It takes a second. It's literally the number one thing you can do to help the channel out. Josh says, I'm worried for our young people. They're getting propagandized to death. I mean, I never thought I would turn to that guy. That's the thing. I never thought, like when I was younger, I thought people's paranoia about this stuff was just that. I thought it was hyperbolic paranoia. But now, we fast forward 10 years later, I'm like, oh my gosh. I mean, kids in kindergarten, first grade are coming home learning about very disgusting, explicit kind of stuff. You know what I mean? From their schools. It's just like, a little common sense, please. A little common sense. Like I said, I never thought I'd be like that guy. But I mean, I just feel like I don't know what's going on, guys. I mean, don't even get me started. The trajectory of the culture clashes and the war on your mind over the last 5 years specifically, I've never seen anything like it. And I'm not saying, I think we should all try to be groovy to each other and to people with different perspectives. I really do. I get along with all sorts of folks of all varying degrees of opinions on stuff. That's not really what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the stuff that's just like so outrageous. It's just disgusting. It's just disgusting. Anyway, getting back to it. Speaking of mining, a good time to bring this up. Cointelegraph, ETH miners will have little choice once Ethereum 2.0 launches with its POS system. Once Ethereum becomes a proof-of-stake blockchain, what will happen to the ETH miners? What will they do? As Ethereum is finally set to launch Ethereum 2.0 upgrade later this year, the network will start to move toward proof-of-stake model. Consequently, the network will abandon its proof-of-work consensus algorithm, leaving Ether miners with very few options. Since their equipment will become obsolete, they will be forced to start mining altcoins or rectify as ETH stalkers. So what is the current state of ETH mining? What exactly will happen to that industry as a result of the upcoming transitions? Now, this is very important information I'm about to share with you for those of you who are looking to getting into mining. And this is something I've been wanting to do for years as well. GPU versus ASIC, ASIC. The Ethereum consensus is currently based on the POW system, which is similar to that of Bitcoin. Therefore, the mining process is nearly identical for Ethereum as miners use their computation resources to earn rewards for each block they manage to complete. However, there are still major difference between these processes. Well, Bitcoin mining has become almost entirely resilient on ASICs. Large, loud, designated machines specifically designated for mining that are almost clustered regions with cheap electricity. Ethereum's POW hashtag algorithm called Ethash has been designed to favor GPU units issued by global chip makers and it lists a couple of those companies. GPUs are much cheaper and more accessible than ASICs, as Thomas Heller, the business director of Crypto Mining Pool, explained. He also added that using GPU for miners have much more flexibility in what you can mine. And this is what I've been talking about. So, yeah, I would definitely lean towards GPU over an ASIC system, because those rigs are much more flexible into what you can mine. There is going to be an adjustment period for the mining once Ethereum 2.0 comes out, because it's going to render mining Ethereum pretty much useless at that point. But there's still lots of mining to be done in Bitcoin, in Dogecoin, in Ravencoin, and many other altcoins as well. And I think we are going to, particularly when you're coming to, when you're talking about the DeFi sector and everything else, these are sectors that are going to continually just exponentially keep growing in popularity and exploding in popularity over the years. So there'll still be plenty of mining to do. Just don't buy a system wherein it's difficult to transfer and convert out of Ethereum. And that's what an ASIC system would essentially make that the transformation process out of ETH much more difficult versus a GPU system. Anyway, let's see what's going on. Yeah, RW, he's like, I have my doubts as if this 2.0 is ever coming out. I know, because it was supposed to launch 2 times now. I do think it's finally coming through the pike now from the things I've been hearing behind the scenes, guys, frankly. I think there's an extremely high probability of Ethereum 2.0 actually coming into fruition on the first quarter of 2022. Got a helium miner ordered. Awesome. Eric Tabuku says, GPU have gotten very expensive. Used card, 900 plus. My wife keeps buying. God help me. Yeah, you got to spend it to make it, as the old saying goes, right, Eric? You got to spend it to make it. It's as a small business owner, I'll tell you what, folks. As a small business owner, I laid down a good chunk of change of my savings to double the size of my showroom, of my store. And directly right after I spent a good chunk of my savings on expanding my business, the thing hit. The thing hit. The pandemic hit, and my business just, it's got slashed. My income got slashed by almost 70% for a while there due to that. And I was like, oh, great. Great. How about that for timing? Let's see here. So I think I covered that just fine. I think I covered that mining story just fine. Next story here. This is pretty cool. The El Salvadorian president, he's a pretty player, man. He's a pretty forward-thinking guy. Obviously, he's the guy that's also rolling out Bitcoin City off the coast of Salvador. The electricity is going to be powered by a neighboring volcano, which is very ambitious. And obviously, the predominant tender there will be Bitcoin. El Salvador buys 100 more Bitcoins as crypto market falls. The El Salvador's president said in a tweet that he bought the coins at a discount. So this guy's coming out. Sorry, I knocked over my microphone. Our first major world leader is out there literally on Twitter saying, buy the dip. I'm buying the dip. Oh, it's pretty cool. The government of El Salvador bought 100 more Bitcoin on Friday, while the price of the largest cryptocurrency on the market fell around 54,000. We're just barely above that now. El Salvador essentially just bought the dip. 100 extra coins acquired at a discount, the president said. Bitcoin price fell about 8% on Friday as broader markets tumble with the new variant. The new variant, guys. Josh Rendell disavows coming in with a $10 super chat, keeping some pep in my step. I love it, Josh. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. I'm in lurk-free mode, friends. Great stream. Thank you, and welcome. I read that Luke, lurk-free mode, but no, he's in lurk mode. I thought you were suspiciously quiet, Josh. But yeah, I like hearing that. I get messages now and then. It's like, hey, I never talk in chat, but I just let you know I'm always lurking. I'm always streaming on my headphones while I'm working and that sort of thing. I also think it's cool. We've got this show's got regulars that are third shift workers that stream while they're listening on headphones and stuff like that while they're working those third shifts and keeping them entertained through that. Then also we got some truck drivers. There's a few different truck drivers that are out there. They're night drivers out on the road, and they listen to this stream over their loudspeakers, over their sound systems in their trucks while they're out there doing their thing. That's awesome. I love hearing about that stuff. But yeah, very smart, very savvy move, in my opinion, from the president of El Salvador. Hopefully this is something we will see more of. I believe that we will, and I don't think it's going to be in the distant future before we do, folks. But I would love to take a visit to Bitcoin City at some point. But what we really need, we need Dogecoin City, folks. We need Dogecoin City. That would be a fun place. Perhaps we could team up with some, start getting at least a board to think about this, team up with some architects and some zoning planners. And maybe I'll run for mayor. of Dogecoin City. That could be fun. I think a lot of partying would happen in Dogecoin City. I don't know if a lot of super productive things would get done, quite frankly. But this is an interesting story that I came across on Futurism. Paris will use electric flying cars to get passengers to the Olympics. Yes, really. French officials announced Thursday that Paris will begin testing electric air taxis. Yes. At a new test site just outside of the French capital, with the ultimate goal of creating at least 2 flight paths for Olympic passengers during the 2024 Summer Games. French Minister of Transport Jean-Baptiste attended Thursday's inauguration of the new air mobility testing site at an airfield a few miles north of Paris. Everything has fallen into place: partners, innovation, test areas, regulations, financing. All the ingredients for success are there. All that remains is to make it happen. The first Olympic route would ferry passengers between Paris and I don't know how to pronounce that, Le Bourget airports, and a second would link the 2 Parisian suburbs. Aerospace outfits are participating in the project. Airfields near Paris have already been adapting to include landing and takeoff areas for these space taxis. You guys, just to be clear, these are flying taxis that are going to transport people from a few of the different surrounding airports into the Olympics and back. That's going to be wild. And they're pretty wild looking. They kind of look like a hybrid between a car and a helicopter. They've got 4 propellers, 2 on each side. That's what they look like. Jason Huffman, dude, I haven't seen you in the mix in a long time. I think you've just kind of been in lurk mode. Good to see you, man. Appreciate it. $20 super chat from Jason Huffman. Right on. Thank you, man. Listening while working. Just wanted to say hi. Hi. Hi back, Jason. Appreciate you, man. I know you do a lot of traveling for work, so you probably stream while you're on the go a lot and things like that. Thanks for coming out of lurk mode to show some support there. Thank you so much. Abstractus says, I'm taking a break from music tonight to watch Steven Steele. I love it. We all need breaks, folks. We all need breaks. Give me a break. Break me off a piece of that Kit Kat bar. Makes me think of that Office episode where Dwight is trying to think of that jingle through the duration of the entire episode, but he just can't put it together. What is that jingle? And he goes through a lot. No, or was it Andy? Maybe it was Andy that was trying to think of it. In a way, I think Andy's funnier than Dwight. I know that's perhaps controversial, I think they're both funny. I actually really like Rainn Wilson. I saw Rainn Wilson in kind of a feel-good movie that I don't think did very well from a few years ago, I think called Rockstar. I actually liked it. But I kind of like campy feel-good films. I'm not a film snob. I get down with that stuff. Bankstun coming in with a $5 super chat. My ex was a bird lover. I mean, I feel like I got to read this in a more of a voiceover voice. $5 super chat from Bankstun. My ex was a bird lover. She never hugged a parakeet, but she kissed a cockatoo. Ba-doom. You know, that's pretty good. That reminds me of like an old school Chevy Chase joke. Definitely a Chevy Chase level joke. Pretty good. Pretty classic. Let's see. So this, I don't know. I just thought that was pretty cool that we got electric flying cars that are going to be transporting people around the Olympics. Next story. San Francisco, the San Francisco tree. San Francisco is sinking into the earth, scientists say. So long to San Francisco, U.S. Geological Survey. Research named Tom Parsons says San Francisco is literally sinking into the earth. NBC Bay Area reports that Parsons examined every single building in the Bay Area using satellite images captured by the European Space Agency Sentinel-1 satellite. Geez, I don't want to say that more than once. Most of the settling appears to be taking place downtown because of the staggering weight and density of the buildings. Ominously, at least one is also tilting. According to the Weather Channel, Millennium Tower earned its nickname as the Leaning Tower of San Francisco because of how much it's tilted each year since the opening in 2009. NBC says it's only the third heaviest building in the city at an estimated 686 million pounds. This is a direct quote from the guy studying all this. If you have all of this going on when you're right near the waterline, in some cases in San Francisco, then you have to worry about big storms. That sea level comes up in inundation more frequently. Parsons says he'll also be studying Manhattan next, according to NBC, to further the study the effects of sinking coastal cities in light of rising sea levels. So, you know, this is something we've heard about off and on frequently. In the future, is California just going to break off into the ocean and eventually sink? There's always been kind of that speculation. I don't know what to make of it, but I don't know. San Francisco has been sinking in more ways than one, in my opinion, over the last decade. I used to spend quite a bit of time in San Francisco. It was one of the strongest cities for me as a recording artist, as far as how many fans were there and how much support I had there and connections and things like that. So I was always gigging in San Francisco, and I literally saw a guy get stabbed almost to death on my first trip there. I had rolled into San Francisco with my band on about 3 or 4 in the morning. We were looking for a hotel to crash at, and there were no vacancies anywhere. Finally, after driving around quite a bit, we saw a vacancy sign on a really shoddy motel. They only had one room available, so all 4 of us just crashed into this 1-bedroom crappy motel so we could at least get a couple hours of sleep before we had to do sound check and everything the next day at the venue. I woke up before everyone else, and I just had an uneasy feeling. And I was sleeping, and I just woke up and I was just kind of staring at the wall. And then I saw a big rat about this big scurry across the motel room floor. I took a deep breath. I said, okay, everyone up. Everyone up. My guys got up. What do you want? They were ticked. They hadn't slept very long. I said, we got to get out of here. And I didn't want to panic them by telling them why we had to get out of there. So I said, why do we have to get out of there? I said, I just spoke with the front desk guy. He says we've got 30 minutes to get out of here or we're going to get double charged. What? Aren't they supposed to give us till noon? I said, I thought that was the case, but apparently it's not. You got to check out way earlier at this place. So, yeah, guys, we got to be out of here within 30 minutes. So everyone hurry up, pack up, let's get it together. So, as a bandmate of mine at the time were loading stuff back into our tour van, we saw, and keep in mind, it's like 8 in the morning. I saw two guys just start arguing with each other, and one called him a backstabbing dirty rat. No pun intended, because he literally pulled out a knife, and he stuck it in this guy's back, like the whole blade, and left it there, and the guy collapsed in front of me, and he's like, help! And my bandmate didn't even see what happened. He's like, go away, dude. No, don't ask for money. I'm like, no, the dude got stabbed. So I just got in my cell, and I called 911, and I'm looking around to try to find the cross streets. And even the 911 operator was surprised. She said, 911, what's your emergency? I said, I just saw this dude get stabbed. He's bleeding out in front of me. She's like, what? I'm like, yeah. She's like, it's not even 8 in the morning. I'm like, I know. She's like, where are you? So I gave her the location, and then I stayed there, and I did my best to, I don't want to touch anything. Of course, you don't want to remove the knife. Definitely don't want to do that. But I just did what I could to at least keep the guy awake so he wouldn't fall into a coma. Until the paramedics got there and ambulance and everything. Anyway, they took him away. So my first visit to San Francisco, I saw someone get, and this happened in the neighborhood of the Tenderloin, which anybody that knows anything about San Francisco, it's the roughest part of San Francisco, to put it bluntly. So later on in that week, so my band played 2 shows in San Francisco that week, and then later on, I DJ'd this small party at this bar in that same neighborhood, the Tenderloin. And they said, it's Steven from the such and such band that I was in is DJing here. And they called the event Stabbed in the Loin. Because I told them this story. I told this story from the stage of my first concert in San Francisco. And people were kind of like unnerved, but also laughing and thought it was funny. So a promoter put together an event that I was DJing later that week there in that same neighborhood called Stabbed in the Loin. Oh my gosh, yeah, it was a good time. Anyway, if you fast forward about 6 months, I get a call from a random guy sounding like Dick Tracy. Is this Steven? I said, who's this? My name is Detective so-and-so, so-and-so. It's my understanding on such and such date of this year, you witness an attempted murder wherein one man was assaulted at knife and this, that, and the other thing. And you put in the 911 call. I'm like, yeah. He's like, well, you're the sole witness on this crime, and we want you on the stand. I'm like, well, there's one big problem, man. I'm not from San Francisco. I'm from the Midwest. And he said, well, what do we got to do? What do we got to do to get you out here? And I said, well, I'm not paying for anything. I can't take off work. I can't afford this stuff. I said, look, if you want to give me all expenses paid, give me a round trip out there. He's like, yeah, we'll cover your round trip. And no. You don't just cover me a round trip. I'm not going to sleep on a friend's sofa. I want a round trip ticket. I want a budget for a rent-a-car. And I want a nice hotel. And I want a food budget. A long pause, and the detective went, okay, that's fine. So that happened. Then I got an all expenses paid vacation to San Francisco for being the sole witness of this assault. And so then I was on the witness stand, and the prosecution was like, you sure this is the guy? And I gotta admit, there was like 1% of me that was like, man, what if I'm wrong? I'm like 99% sure that is the dude that I saw stab the other dude, but what if there's a 1% chance. And then I looked at the victim. I looked at that guy, and I could just tell by the look in his eyes. He was looking at me like, dude, you know that's the guy. Come on. You know that's the guy. And I was like, yeah, that's the guy. That's the guy. And then once I heard him talk to, it like even confirmed it more, his voice and everything. So yeah, that was wild. And then after that, I ended up partying. Oh my gosh, I had the greatest week. It involved hot tubs, it involved babes, it involved dancing till dawn, and it was an awesome. It ended up being so much fun. Anyway, this is what you get. Some nights I talk a lot about crypto. Some nights I just kind of go in and out of it. Tonight you're getting in and out of it. Tonight you're getting in and out of it. It is what it is, folks. You know, when you stream nearly 7 nights a week, I can't just talk about crypto nonstop all the time. That's why I just consider this I consider myself a talk show host that happens to be into dog money, happens to be into crypto. Oh my gosh. Anyway, let's see what's going on in the chat. Holy crap, Steven, can we hear more summer camp stories? Well, that was technically a summer story. So is it usually for people that get stabbed at 8 a.m.? Zombie says, yeah. Abstractus says, I haven't looked at my portfolio in days. Probably smart. Honestly, why? Why put yourself through that? Because there's a pretty good probability, if you just leave it alone, not check your portfolio or any of that stuff for a whole week and come back to it, that it's going to be like a flash crash never happened. Let's see, what else do we got going here? Okay, this is kind of a funny article that I saw for the Babylon Bee. For those of you who don't know, it's a parody news website, so take it as such. Headline, the nation suffers from post-Thanksgiving inflation around midsection. Inflation has been a real problem this year, and it's only getting worse. According to reports, millions and millions across the nation have been experiencing post-Thanksgiving dinner inflation, particularly around the midsection. Midsection inflation spiked after Thanksgiving, well outpacing its normal rate. Whew, boy, talk about inflation, said one dad in Ohio as he settled in after his third helping of turkey and mashed potatoes. This might even be bordering on hyperinflation. And it ain't getting any better. I'm going to open up that Cool Whip container full of turkey tomorrow and make myself a fine turkey sandwich. Oh, that Cool Whip, those Cool Whip containers. Moms really, I mean, I feel like Cool Whip, the main purpose of buying Cool Whip is not even for the Cool Whip. Moms buy those Cool Whip containers for leftovers. I think that's what most people use Cool Whip for. It's not even about the Cool Whip containers. It's not even about the Cool Whip. It's about using the Cool Whip containers for all the leftovers. My mom has used so many Cool Whip containers for stuffing, for mashed potatoes, for sweet potatoes, for coleslaw, etc. Man, that is a coast-to-coast trend, man. Cool Whip has fooled us into thinking it's about Cool Whip. It's had nothing to do with Cool Whip. They're selling overpriced. They're selling overpriced leftover containers. That's what they're doing. It's actually a pretty good racket. All right, let me finish this article, and it's a very important one, mind you. The inflation crisis has seemed to hit those with moms and grandmas who make delicious, lumpy mashed potatoes, green bean casserole. I don't like the green bean casserole. I was spending time with my parents today. They asked me if I wanted green bean casserole. My mom started packing up green bean casserole for me. I said, hold it. And with all respect to my mother, who's a phenomenal cook, by the way, but I've never got with the green bean casserole. First of all, I'm lactose intolerant, so I can't have that because part of what the green bean casserole is based in is those couple of gelatinous cans of cream of mushroom soup that are just plopped in there, right? To me, I've always been frankly disgusted by the cream of mushroom soup out of a can. Plus, I'm lactose intolerant, so no go. So, the green bean casserole always has like a film, like a thick gooey film of canned mushroom soup over the green beans. I can't get with it. I'm sorry, Ma. I'm sorry. Everything else was phenomenal. I've never been able to get with that green bean casserole. And it ain't getting any better. I'm going to open that Cool Whip container full of turkey tomorrow and make myself a fine turkey sandwich. The inflation crisis seems to have... Oh, I already read that part. What's with the people who hate the greatest holiday of the year? I don't know, folks. I don't know. Anyway, that's kind of the bottom of that one. The kind of bottom of that one. I think I got another fun one in here. We're just having a fun show now. We're having a fun show now. This one's a little spicy, but I think it's pretty funny as well. Let's see what's going on in the chat. How was it being CEO of Dink Doink with Logan Paul's crypto he created? It seemed pretty interesting. Oh, I guess this person's asked me, how was it having the CEO of Dink Doink on with Logan Paul? Yeah, I've been getting this question again lately, and I was wondering why, but it's because my a small excerpt of my interview with the CEO of that project emerged on a recent episode of CoffeeZilla. So I was like, oh, okay, that's why I'm getting inundated with messages again about this and questions about this. Yeah, it was pretty interesting. That was set up through a friend of mine, Liv, and she said just might be an idea for a show. And I was like, I usually don't do something like this, but yeah, we'll try it out. We'll try it out. So we had him on. And if I'm going to have any project lead of any token project, I treat them all unbiasedly, and I'm going to ask some critical questions, and that's what I did. And some people felt that the questions that I asked the project lead of Dink Doink didn't give the best answers. Some people felt, and consequently, it made for a pretty provocative interview that's been featured on CoffeeZilla, Graham Parsons, Phil D'Amico, you guys know the guy I'm talking about, the Daily News guy, and a few others as well. So that footage got used up. I will say this, though. CoffeeZilla has used footage from my show now twice and hasn't credited me. It's not a big deal, but at the same time, I'm like, dude, you can put like an excerpt just in the corner, like a text that says from Steven Steele Live, or just say it like when I think Graham Steffens used clips from my show twice now, and each time he says, in an interview on Steven Steele Live, or this is an excerpt from Steven Steele Live, or whatever. That's great. So yeah, I don't know what to make of it, but it is what it is. I will say this. That guy, that CEO, he's always been super nice. He's been super sweet to me. Even proceeding after that interview, he was always very chill, very humble, very kind to me. He held no animosity. I wasn't even trying to make it like a gotcha kind of thing. I was just asking tough, critical questions. Because, hey, man, we're up to like 20,000 cryptocurrencies out there. And most of those are just BSC token projects. So you got to figure out why, why is this a good investment? These kind of things. But thank you for the super chat. Next story here. Husband fights patriarchy by letting wife change tires. Oh, I'm not even gonna go any further than that. I just think the headline is it's fine. It's fun enough. It's funny enough. Let's see what else we got here, guys. I think that's about it. To be honest, it wasn't the busiest news cycle since the last time that we were live. If you have any questions for me, feel free to put them in the chat. I'll do my best to field those within my capacity. Olive oil, salt, pepper, and balsamic vinegar. Yeah, a very simple but effective combo, Alan Schneider. Oh, are you talking like what you're marinating cabbage with? Cabbage is super healthy for you, by the way. And just baking it with a simple concoction like that, I think, is pretty cool, pretty effective. I've had that combination. It's very good. Let's see here. Someone says KuCoin stole my money. Hope that's not true. I hope that's not true. Country Cuddy, good to see you in the mix, Doll. I haven't seen you in a bit. Country Crock Butter is also... Yeah, the Country Crock... Actually, those Country Crock containers are really deep. Those can hold a lot of leftovers, man. Those can hold a dang near a whole turkey. I love garlic, man. I can put garlic on anything. I actually love cabbage. I love cabbage with corned beef and cabbage. I love cabbage with like a chuck roast, like in a like a roast. Yeah. Anyway, folks, I think I'm going to wind this one down. I want to thank each and every one of you guys for tuning in tonight. I hope you had a good time. I know I did. Appreciate the continued support out there. If you're not already a subscriber to this channel, what are you doing? What are you doing? Hit that subscribe button. Hit all on that notification bell. Have fun with us. We've got the best little corner on YouTube. I am convinced of it, and I want you to be a part of it. So hit subscribe. Hit all on that notification bell. Everybody else, if you're already subscribed, please take a second right now and hit all on that notification bell. I think most of you still, and you know, statistics show that most people that subscribe, even to their favorite channels, don't have their notifications on. So I want every one of you to hit all on that notification bell, all right? Someone's calling for a members only stream. I might do it, but I'll need a little downtime just to refresh myself, get a little food in my belly, put on some tea. But again, if you're a member, keep your notifications on. By the way, I'll just take a moment to plug membership. If you want to be a member, I think you get a lot of value for very little. You just hit the join button below the video there. Memberships start as inexpensively as $4 a month. $4 a month. In return, you get those nifty badges that you see in the chat there. Your name turns a deep green. Plus, you get access to all the members only emojis, but most importantly, you get access to all the members only streams I do, which I do quite a bit of them. So it unlocks members only content. Again, that's just for $4 a month. Again, thank you guys so much. Appreciate each and every one of you. I may do a members only stream. I'm not sure yet, but thanks again. Appreciate each and every one of you guys. Stay positive. Until next time, this is Steele signing out. Just the bees and birds, the summer hay.